Sean Miller is the new man on the hardwood in the ATX, Austin, Texas. Folks, what do we think? I'm about to tell you what I think, guys, but I appreciate you joining us on this reaction to Texas hiring Sean Miller from Xavier, obviously a former Arizona coach, been Xavier before. But this reaction brought to you by our proud title sponsor, FANDUEL. Visit FANDUEL.com/SECU to join today and get started with $200 in bonus bets when you win your first $5 bet. Folks, what do we think about this hire? I would love to hear it in the comments. What do we think about this hire for Texas? Just surface level to me. What does Texas want to be in basketball? Is kind of what I would ask. Again, it's not saying they can't be. Again, let's give a tip of the cap to the SEC here. Years ago, back when I was in college at an SEC school, there were only like 2 to 3 teams making the tournament every year. Florida, Kentucky, it's when Billy Donovan was there. Tennessee, kind of the back end of Bruce Pearl. Like, those were the teams making the tournament. And then when the SEC network came along in 2014, it hit the league. Hey, we need stuff to put on TV in the spring, or really in those winter months after football's wrapped up. What can we put on? So they go to their university presidents. I'm saying this story for the Texas fans who are just getting into this league. Went to the presidents. We're going to have money. We're going to be generating revenue from this new network. We can go get big-time basketball coaches. So unless you like your coach currently, which are a lot of average coaches, I mean, some great mid-major hires that just didn't pan out at this level, and they've gone back to mid-major. I'm looking at Anthony Grant at Alabama. He's doing well at Dayton, and he did well at VCU. Just didn't work out at Alabama. And these schools' presidents, athletic directors took this money and went and hired guys like Bruce Pearl, who obviously had to take the Auburn job because he had to. You have had John Calipari stay in the league for a while. You got Chris Beard in the league now. You got Nate Oates in the league now. Rick Barnes obviously left Texas. Was getting run out of town and got a job the next day or that day to go to Knoxville. There are so many good basketball coaches in this league right now, and that is why it's so good. They're investing money in this league. They're going to get players out of the portal. They're paying kids at high school level to high level, McDonald's All-Americans, and they're getting portal kids too. I mean, this league is here to stay. I don't know if they're going to get 7 teams in the Sweet 16 like we have right now. Not ready to say that, but it's Texas's turn to step up to the table. They have the revenue. They have the crowd support. I have some buddies who live in Austin. They say the Moody Center, as our guy Matthew McConaughey would say, bless the mood. It's a beautiful arena. You can win big at Texas and Texas basketball. I understand. Texas fans, I'd love to hear you say this or love your comments. Men's basketball is probably the third sport out of the big 3 there. It's football, baseball, men's basketball. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it depends if you like baseball or basketball. Let's be honest. Football's 1. Then maybe we'll go 2A, 2B, but probably 2 and 3, baseball, men's basketball. But what do I think of this hire? It was your time to go out there and kind of reset the clock. Hey, we're going to be in probably the best league in basketball here year in, year out. We need to go get somebody who's an interim level. I mean, you had things rolling with Chris Beard. Again, nothing, and it's just off the court. I mean, when he got let go, he was the number 2 team in the country. You let Rodney Terry ride it out for the next year and a half, really, 2 years. Wasn't terrible. You weren't bleeding out. Sorry for the image, but it wasn't great. Let's call it spade a spade. So now you go to the drawing board after losing in the first the playing game to Dayton. You go hire the guy that beat you. And again, I'm not one of those guys that's like, oh, Chris Del Conte just was lazy and went out and got the guy that just beat him. No, I mean, I think they reached out to guys like Nate Oates, TJ Otzelberger. Those guys are very comfortable in their spots. And that's the fact now in college basketball. You can win at a lot of different schools, folks. I mean, I know you guys know that. You don't have to go to Texas. Think about TJ Otzelberger. I think it's a phenomenal coach. If he were to go leave to Texas, he's restarting his entire – that job security is gone that he has in Ames. And he has a very high level of job security at Ames. He goes to Texas. He goes and works for Chris Del Conte. Hey, you're restarting, and hey, if you aren't succeeding in 3 years, you may be on the unemployment line. Where Iowa State, he built that program. So, yeah, I get it. Same with Nate Oates. Nate Oates can accomplish what he wants at Alabama just as much as he can at Texas, even though Texas has more money. It is what it is. In basketball, I think guys get real comfortable in these jobs they like Greg McDermott at Creighton, even though he's tried to get out a couple of times. But still, you hire Sean Miller. I like it, folks. Plain and simple. Who else did you want to go get? I think he was the best guy out there that you could go acquire that was willing to leave his current gig at Xavier after them dropping first-round game to Illinois after beating Texas, obviously. But, I mean, Sean Miller, I think he's had success. What are we talking about? 4 Elite Eights here. Sweet City, yeah. Elite 8 in 07-08. Looking at it here. Elite 8 in 10-11. Elite 8, 13 and 14. And, back-to-back year, Elite Eight, 14 and 15 in Arizona. I mean, how many Sweet 16s we're looking at it? 1 at Xavier, 12-13 at Arizona, 14-15 Arizona. I mean, numerous Sweet 16 rounds right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, 7 going down to his new Xavier days. Really good job. Remember, he'd been at Xavier from 04, 05 to 08, 09 and got hired at Arizona. Just so we're setting the storyline, I'm sure Texas fans have done the research, but just for people who aren't listening from a Texas perspective, then from 09 to 10, folks, or 09, 10 to 2021 was at Arizona. Last 3 years did not make the tournament. Had to go restart it, go to Cincinnati, took the Musketeers to the NCAA tournament 2 times, 2 out of 3 times. Gets hired at Texas. I like it. He's going to have a lot of resources. I think he can get it back to how kind of Arizona was a little bit, consistently making the NCAA tournament. 2 out of every 4 years, you're in the Sweet 16. And again, I mean, what is Texas's expectation in this? I grew up in the Rick Barnes era, the TJ Ford era, where Texas was consistently like a top 3 seed in the NCAA tournament. It felt like, at least. I mean, I was there when they were in the Final Four, 03, 04. I was in middle school. Me and my dad went to New Orleans when they lost to Syracuse in the Final Four. Carmelo Anthony and Hakeem Morgan and actually Jerry McNamara won the national championship that year. But that was Rick Barnes, TJ Ford. But what is the expectation, though? I mean, I think he can get that. That's what I'm saying. I think is Sean Miller going to go win a national title? I don't know. And I don't think that's Texas' expectation. And that's one of the hardest things to do in sports. But to get them consistently in the NCAA tournament 3 out of every 4 years, two of those years during the second weekend, I think very possible for Texas and should honestly somewhat be expected. I think Sean Miller can get them there. I mean, his overall record, 487 and 196. That's a 713 winning percentage, 71% essentially. That's from 04 to this past season, 2024, 2025. That's phenomenal. This guy can coach basketball, folks, and he's been at 2 schools really in the past 2 decades. So he can plant roots. He likes continuity, as you can see, both times at Xavier, and then obviously during his dang year, 10 years in Arizona, where from 10, 11 to 17 and 18, Arizona was hell on wheels, folks. I mean, as you're looking at multiple Sweet 16, Elite 8 appearances and made the tournament, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7 and 8 years in that span. So this guy can coach basketball, guys. Xavier, a really well-coached team. From this perspective, though, I mean, if you're him, it's got to start. What do you need to go get? You need to go. It's all about roster building now, guys. Like I heard Chris Jan say it. He's been on the show, Mississippi State's basketball coach. So is Chris Peter. It's not about building a program now. It's building a team. I know that sounds cliche, but it's definitely true in basketball. Again, I think Mark Pope's done a phenomenal job for Kentucky this year, but it's very overblown. Like, he inherited no one on his roster. John Calipari only had 1 guy on the roster when he got to Arkansas. I mean, a lot of teams can say that. They only had 3 or 4 guys returning. Remember, you can have 13 scholarships in basketball, according to the NCAA, folks. So you're bringing on 9 new guys every year. I mean, that isn't some big thing. I mean, let's call a spade here. But I think Sean Miller, he has to somewhat try to get Chendell Weaver back. He does. He needs to get him back. I think everybody, all the Texas beat writers saying that you need to find him. They got better when he came back, when you moved Tremont Mark to the point guard spot. You're obviously losing Trey Johnson. They need to go find a point guard. Those are 2 things that bounce off. You need to convince Weaver. That's the first recruit you need to go sign. You need to go get, reassurance he's coming back. You obviously need to sprinkle in more talent around him because I think he's kind of he's a winnable guy. I don't think you can go win because of him, but you can win a lot of games with him because of other guys too. And you got to go find a true point guard. That's key in today's basketball. We see it all the time with the better teams, especially advancing into March. But I mean, what do you say about this hire, folks? I think it's a good one. I think it's as good as CDC could have went out and got. Right now, when you factor in who was leaving who was going to leave their current spot, I think it's as good as you could have got, man. You got a guy that's proven he's won at the Power 4 level at Arizona. He's won at the mid-major level. He's going to have as much resources as he's ever had as a coach. In the new SEC, it's generating that much revenue. Obviously, the University of Texas. I like this hire. I do. The more it's hung around now for the past 12, 16 hours, I like it. I mean, again, because I'm kind of thinking like, look, guys, John Wooden isn't sitting out there. Rick Pitino's not leaving St. John's. Also, you wouldn't want to hire a guy that's 80 years old. Like, Nate Oates isn't leaving Alabama. TJ Otzelberger isn't leaving. Once you settle into that, you're kind of like, Yeah, he was the next man up. And I think for whatever reason, I think people were kind of like, maybe it said a little wrong. He's like, well, man, we were controlling most of that game with Rodney Terry. I mean, Rodney Terry outcoached him for 36 minutes of that game. Well, they still lost, but it's big picture. I think it's very small-minded, simple-minded to think that CDC just hired him just because he just beat Texas in the tournament, the play-in game earlier last week. I think that's a little naive. I think this is a really good hire. I think CDC did what he had to do. He went and poked the bear, reached out to some big home run guys, and it just didn't work out. It just didn't work out. I mean, it wasn't going to have the same sexiness as stealing A&M's coach and Jim Schlossnagle in baseball. It just wasn't. You went and got Sean Miller, proven winner. I like it, man. I like it. Texas needs to get rolling in the SEC, and I think they made the right move. Sounds like Rodney Terry, phenomenal guy, phenomenal assistant coach with Rick Barnes and with Chris Beard. Just not a great head coach. Was it terrible? No. Was it bleeding out? No. It was time for a change when you were in a new conference and you look. I mean, you know, Texas and look like, man, all 14 teams, 14 out of the 16 made the NCAA tournament. They're looking at SEC spring media day. It's like meetings. It's like, we could get pretty good in the sport right now. We need to go make a move. Did Sean Miller take them to the high end of that levels, to the Alabamas, Auburns, Tennessees, Floridas right now? I don't know about that. Too early? Not ready to say for sure no, but not ready to say yes either. But I do think he's going to consistently get them in the tournament. I do like the hire. I applaud CDC. I really think he was the no-brainer at this point when you factor in gettability and how good of a coach he could be at the University of Texas with the most resources he will ever have. So I like it. Longhorn fans, I give it a big horns up. Let's give it a big horns up. I like that hire. But just wanted to come on, guys. Head college basketball analyst here at the SEC Unfiltered channel, Dave Shumate. Just want to see I'd love to hear what the Texas fans think of real expectations for Texas basketball are in today's world. Again, I know it's probably your third sport if you polled most Texas fans, but I would love to hear what the real expectations are for Sean Miller. I gave you mine. I think you should make the tournament three out of every 4 years, move to second weekend, 2 out of every 4 years. So I'm fired up for the hire. I think Sean Miller can get that done for the Longhorns. But for Dave Shumate, folks, want to read you real quickly, guys. This bracket season, FanDuel is letting you make the call because right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's 200 extra bucks to bet on everything from clutch shots to last-second heartbreaks and even who's cutting down the nets. If you've been waiting to join, there's no better time. There's tourney action almost every day, and FanDuel has amazing bet types like spreads, totals, game props, and so much more. So visit FanDuel.com/SECU and get in the college hoops action all tourney long. Must be 21 and present in select states for 18 and present in D.C. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with the Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. Folks, again, Dave Shumate, head SEC basketball analyst. Hey, Sean Miller, hook 'em, baby.